All right. Give the people who weren't here a flash of disjointed images that explain to them what happened last time.
Slaughter of cannibalistic, emaciated dwarves with glaucoma, I think. And they mostly dead, run off. A mayor who is both outraged and confused at the state of things.
Can I add something?
Oh yeah.
About fighting off one of these dwarves by bonking it on the head and stepping on the little dais in the middle, and it sinks down just a little bit. And she goes, huh. And then eventually she looks up from us and she pushes up at the same time, and the door behind her opens, and then Shalati. Uh, sorry. Wait. What's your character's name? Too many names. Ishtalan. Thank you. I was like, oh no. Ishtalan runs the wrong direction, and Beth's like, but I just opened that door.
You hear, cutting across the battlefield, the unmistakable voice of Peach Pine saying, "Wait, are we killing them or not?" As she puts two emaciated underground dwarves to sleep.
And finally, Esmond and I think, did the mayor come back with Esmond? I can't remember, Kevin.
No, Araya comes back
Araya,
with
that's
Esmond after a delightful shadow play movie date.
Yes, very.
The shadow play specifically shared images, a history of the sun disappearing, reappearing, the emergence of Genasi folk. And as it went on, it got more specific. It showed the return of a black jelly, the growth and destruction of a giant chicken, the uprising of the undead horde. It basically showed off all of our escapades up from us leaving Shepherd's End to that point.
Nice. Along with some ancient history. Ancient history that Isaac might remember. Related to...
Yeah, Esmond's pissed off about it, but that's something you'll discover.
Now, sorry, out of character, did Esmond and Araya share the summary of the shadow play with us at the end of the last session, or have they not? Okay, I didn't know if in character we knew about that yet or not.
I don't think there's been any time.
Yeah, they showed up,
That's what I was unsure about.
When they returned, it was decided, I'll say, everyone to move on through the door that Kabeth opened, leading deeper into the hidden chambers, leaving behind Echelon, who snuck off after the sole survivor of the encounter.
All this sole survivor nonsense. I kept 3 of them all alive, and they are in custody.
2 of them also ran off. So.
Wait, 2 of them also ran off? I thought it was just the one. Oh, I don't.
There was one that ran off a little bit earlier.
I thought you killed that person. All right.
I just really scared him.
All right. So, ignore that. For the most part, the group is together, aside from Echelon, on the stairs, leading down towards a new chamber. Esmond stopped people on the stairwell, sending down his familiar, who saw an old friend who spoke.
Yeah, I'll reset the immediate very last things because we'll kind of just overlap the very end with where we are now. So in the chamber above, where you left the sleeping dwarves, that I believe you did not execute them, right?
We returned them to the custody of the town.
Yeah, the mayor had come down along with many dwarven soldier, and so they're sort of secured that room above you. They're setting up barricades to block off all of the side tunnels, things like that. Ishtalan is still not returned to the group, but you have otherwise begun to head down the stairs with Not Typhon. What's the bird's name? Can't remember the bird's name now. How's the hummingbird?
Zephyrus?
Zephyrus, there we go. With the Zephyrus leading the way. And what Zephyrus sees seems to be a ritual of some kind, a magical circle at the center of a large chamber. And there are glowing stones that seem to be somehow related to whatever ritual is happening. The room itself is badly dilapidated. There are stone pillars that seem to depict agriculture and engineering, as well as it seems to be the structure of, say, like a feudal system, things like that. But the pillars are crumbling. There are cracks in the walls and ceilings. It doesn't look like anyone's been in this room for a very long time. And the very last thing is you see this white, like Elmer's glue white, sort of amorphous creature, kind of humanoid when you first see it, but shifting. So like its face sinks in and becomes the other side of the face. And at one point it seemed to be resting its head on its hand, but then it had shifted and its face came out the side of its shoulder, and it, without turning, seemed to change its direction. The last thing you'd heard it say was, finally come to kill me. And that's where we'll begin.
I'm going to have Zephyrus zip back up, returning to me as I leave his vision. And I'm just going to turn to the group. Okay, so there's something down there. And it's trapped, but we need to be smart about this regardless. It seems to... It's aware of our presence. It seems to think that we're someone else. So let's get down there. Peach, I think you two should talk to it, ask it questions, keep it talking, distracted. Doc, Araya, there's some more slabs of text at the end of the chasm. If you want to check that out. I want to observe the. It seems to be stuck in some kind of magic prison or something. I want to observe that some. Kibeth, if you want to stay somewhere in between myself and O as some kind of large, daunting guard, that would be appreciated, I think. But otherwise, no one should interact with this thing other than Casey and Peach until we can get more information out of this place.
Right.
Can I ask Peach? Why are we going to talk to it at all? Why does Casey and I need to talk to it? Why does anybody need to talk to it? Why do we need to? Well, why?
It obviously knows something. It's the puzzle at the end of the labyrinth.
It's either we ignore it and it continues to talk to us, or we talk to it, get some kind of answers to try and resolve whatever puzzle that we're in, get out of here faster, and not bother with it afterwards.
Casey has just been grinning at Esmond this entire time. He's been stating the plan very definitively. It's like, we're going to talk to it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm game and all. I just wanted to make sure we all knew how stupid this was. I thought we weren't doing dumb things anymore, but...
No, I think it has answers. It was left inside a temple meant for us. It's obviously a clue, or...
The stupid thing is us
Or
being
it's
here in
gonna
the first
kill
place, so I'm trying to get us out of here as soon as we can. So, if we're ready, let's go.
I don't think it's stupid at all.
I was having a good time when the dwarf showed up.
You lifted the ceiling, Beth.
I know. The thing said it was for me. Did you not read the poem? That's
What?
about me?
Watch, this one's just for Ez, but it's only gonna make him mad.
Esmond turns and starts walking down the stairs.
Yep. Doc follows right after.
What if the circle isn't something holding it in, but rather a circle of its own choosing?
Then we'll wing it. Casey starts going down.
Peach follows Casey.
I'm not going to fall down these stairs. I'm taking them extra cautiously.
You say that out loud.
Yes!
Quebec looks really, really embarrassed.
She's like reassuring herself as she takes careful steps. If there's a handrail, she's using it.
Please make her roll for it, Chris.
No! I'll take a 20! If needs must.
Wait, no, Quebec knocked into her last time.
Yeah, it was...
You guys wind your way down the stairs, stepping through the dust and rubble at the top, or sorry, at the southern side of the room. There is a purple-hued light that is flaring out from the stones at the center of the room, and the pillars themselves casting deep shadows. For just a moment, and the shadow seems to open its eyes and close again. The creature at the center of the room seems to shift its attention toward all of you as you come down the stairs.
Casey brightens up, cracks his neck. All right, then. And begins to approach.
Peach follows suit. Despite her earlier contrivances, she is confident, smile on, chins up, smiles on, and heading forward along with Casey.
Mm-hmm.
Esmond is moving behind in tow, but no intention to talk to the thing.
Okay. Well, as you guys begin to spread out through the room, go ahead and place yourselves where you're going to be.
Of course, Esmond goes somewhere I can't stand between him and Casey, because I assume I can't stand in that weird shape, Chris?
Yeah, on the map, they kind of look like holes in the ground. Those are floor to ceiling pillars. Yeah, that was just the way I had to draw it.
Yeah. So would Esmond put a hole in the ground between him and...
And sorry, just for clarity, those are not holes in the ground. They're pillars that run from the floor to the ceiling.
Gotcha. Okay, so my question is, so Kevin, you said you wanted Quebec to be between you, but I can't be. Where do you want me to be? Because I probably can't see your character at all.
Yeah, I'm trying to stay in the middle of everybody.
Yeah, I'll stay. I'll stand behind them. Actually, that'll suffice for what I plan.
Okay, I'll hang out here.
That's good.
Casey pauses there and kind of hears the footsteps all pause behind him, and he looks down and back to see the people on his flank. He's like, really bunching up, aren't we?
I think it's all right to present a united front, Casey. Nobody's here to cause trouble.
Ava nods and sort of backs up a little bit.
I'm just gonna look at the tablets. Unless they're in Dwarven, and then I'm looking at the center ritual. I like rituals. Rituals are my jam.
The creature doesn't have eyes, but it seems to be watching you as you move throughout the room. And after a while, does it lean in a bit? You're not quite sure. But you hear it say, "No, something different."
Esmond is casting Detect Magic at first level. Not a ritual. I'm investigating the circle it seems to be stuck in.
Yeah, there's definitely a magic aura from the stones themselves, and you're also able to see that there's essentially a dome of magical energy. It seems to follow the shape of the circle itself. And this creature is within the midst of it. The School of Magic. Pretty sure it's going to be Conjuration, but let me double check that just to be sure. Abjuration magic.
And that's the stones, the circle?
Yes, the stones in the circle.
Do I get any read on the creature itself? It's just within that the 30-foot range of detect magic. So I don't know if there's anything else with it.
The spell, the circle, is quite powerful, and it's sort of distorting your read of what's inside.
Noted.
Casey screams and says, I am Orthocles Feldspar Calcio, the King of Up, liberator of the undead blight upon Merewood. Among many other deeds, I won't waste your time listing.
Peach pipes up and says, and I'm Peach Pine, I'm his friend.
Creature seems to shift. You're not sure when it begins, but after a moment you find that it's standing. One arm sweeps out, the other near what would be its stomach, and it bows. Your Majesty.
Do you have something we should call you?
Do you not know me, then?
Perhaps we know of your deeds. What might they be?
It seems like it was about to say something, then it pauses. I wonder, perhaps, if those who have spoken to me of me have spoken the truth. What have you heard?
Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself from, your own sense? I'd say your own lips, but I'm not seeing what you are speaking from. Tell us what we should have. Don't let us come in with any prejudices about you or pre-told stories.
To be perfectly frank, we've not heard of any of your deeds, and your current form does not ring a bell.
So tell us.
Just to study you all for a moment, it says, once I was a friend of all, but those near grew to fear me, as is often the way. I was betrayed, and here I am trapped. Why have you come to this place? Certainly not for me. You seem uncertain.
No, we're quite certain for our reasons for being here. This happens to be a bit of a side jaunt that we find ourselves in. I mean, if you'd like us to leave, we can leave you to it.
Yeah, we're not looking to cause any kind of upset here unnecessarily or nothing. We're from Shep's End. It's not far from here, and we're just trying to help folk out as they need it.
You'll have to forgive me. Long have I been bound here. I know not of your people.
Well, you seem to be imprisoned under a town that knows of us quite extensively. Do you care to say why you're bound here?
As I said, I was betrayed by those close to me.
Yeah, but people get betrayed for a reason. I mean, if you wish to carry on with vagaries, we can spend all day here, but we do have other things to attend to.
We need to know what their accusation of you was, even if it is erroneous.
They feared what I am.
Which is?
What you see. His arms seem to spread out a bit.
Mumbling to herself, I can relate to that.
I mean, it seems their fears were a bit misplaced since you find yourself here.
Yes, I believe so. Never have I meant any harm.
Casey leans over his left shoulder to Ez. Seems all right.
Esmond is going to lean into your shoulder and whisper into your ear. Don't think about anything. That barrier is keeping it in. It's holding strong. It's preventing me from reading further into whatever that creature is. So just learn what you can about this place. I'm going to step back. I'm going to see if I can help Doc and Araya with the plaques, and we're going to move on, and we're going to aim to get out of here as soon as possible. And he's going to step aside and whisper the same thing to Peach before moving back down towards the where the plaques are.
Okay. Araya, please roll. Well, actually, these are in Dwarven, so.
God damn it! Is my dwarf friend with me?
No.
Can we have been studying together?
He's still up with the corpse. You guys told him that his friend died, and then you walked downstairs, so he is with the corpse of.
But he's not infected with disease. Okay. Since it's in Dwarven, is there really if I said that if it was in Dwarven that I would check out the ritual circle to see if I recognized any sort of I recognize that Ez has done a magic, like a detect magic, but is it something that falls within like a religious side of things? And if so, I don't.
If you just glance at those things and you saw that they were Dwarven and you would not have stayed there, well, place yourself where you would be instead.
I also want to have Kabeth whisper to Casey when it makes sense.
You can do that now while Araya's figuring out where she's
at. Casey, you feel like a gentle touch on your shoulder, and Kabeth whispers in your ear. Casey, you weren't here, but this place seems to have locks designed for us. Only Araya could open up the first one, and only I could open up this one. Maybe they know this thing knows something about that, and why we seem to be the people who can move forward through this temple.
Yeah, good.
All right, so
Jess, that's a pillar. You would not. Or just that's a pillar. You wouldn't be able to see most of us.
I want to see the circle. Okay, I'll put myself in a better spot. Like, how close? When do I start making them nervous? How close can I get without you guys freaking out?
You decide where you're going. Where do you walk? It's not a committee.
Yeah, sorry, I wasn't trying to change your mind. I was just making sure that
So from right there, and you are studying the pillars, or you're studying the magic circle?
Magic circle.
Okay. Roll religion for me. 16.
I've been rolling like butts.
The intricacy of the designs and the layout is certainly reminiscent of ritual, religious, or magical that you've seen before, but the precise nature of it, you have no idea.
So, friends, you've been here a long time. Do you know where you are?
Indeed. The ruins of what was beneath, before, well, what were once, what are said to be my people, were cast away.
So you have a people more like you?
Yeah, tell us more about that all. Who are your folks?
No, not like me. Those were who discarded, those were who were in need, alone, sick and weak. I tended to them. But again, in time, I was not like them, and so they grew to fear.
While you tended to them, what did they call you?
Steady as you reach, it says, I'm the white pudding.
Apt, if not a bit on the nose.
Did you have a name beyond that? Something that you refer to yourself as?
Not that you
No?
speak with your mouth.
No, that's just fine, to each their own. So the folks that you were trying to help, who betrayed you all, were they also puddin' folk? Were they more like flesh and blood and carbon folk like us all?
No, they were dwarf kind.
Are there letters or writing in the circles, like around where he is? Are there inscriptions on the ground?
Yeah, lots of them.
What language are they in?
Seems to be dwarven.
Damn it! Should have studied dwarven. Okay.
Were the dwarf kind? Were they the folks who bound you here?
As I'd said, yes.
All right.
I give Ez a meaningful look.
But through no misaction of your own, you were only ever trying to help and were misunderstood.
So it seems.
Casey begins to speak a low, rumbling word that shakes down from himself and rumbles out underneath Esmond, Peach, Doc, and I think I can do 4 Array. The Beth. And as he speaks this word in Ignan, it rumbles up the bodies of each of those people, and they hear Casey breathe deep in their minds, and he says, I don't know about this guy. He may be associated with the puddings that came upon our town.
The village was warned. The village was warned about puddings, and so the first sign of a pudding that they trapped him.
You're not in there, Araya. Get out.
I'm not? I thought you said Aria!
No, I switched it to Kapath, sorry.
Oh, son of a biscuit!
This might be a bit of a stretch, but Chris, Gnomish uses dwarven characters I do speak Gnomish. Does that mean?
That's how you know that they're dwarven characters.
All right. Damn it! All right.
Yeah, but Casey says in the mines, now that we need to mention that to this guy.
Maybe we should just look around the room and see or get someone to translate these things. He seems, if he's a pudding, that's really scary.
I mean, they weren't all that tough, but yeah, might not necessarily like what we did to them.
I mean,
Casey, this place seems to be like a future version of our past. This could very well be an alternate version of exactly what took over our town, you know? Like, we definitely can't release it, and we should just avoid it and try to move forward.
Just say he's been here a while.
I mean, the villagers, they all have, like, traditions and lore that are tied to us, but changed enough through time that it's very much likely a version of us could have imprisoned this very creature and then made this place that, you know, requires each of us to open it again.
The puddin' himself said it was dwarf kind, though, that imprisoned him. I feel like none of us all are dwarves.
Yeah,
that's true.
And there are statues of us all everywhere. You know, we're pretty distinctively not that.
Can I wander to the far side of the room if there's more tablets?
Yeah, start wandering around.
Esmond is going to scratch out a note on a scrap of paper and tie it to Zephyrus and send him off to find the mayor. And the note is going to read, "We require a single translator. Have them come down, but make no noise."
Wow, Casey says. So, you've been here a while. Do you mean to get out?
Do not all things wish to be free? Are you not the king of this realm?
I am a king of a realm. But I do as I please in this realm. I mean, the question is, do I want to free you?
Have you conquered then the tyrants above?
Like I said, you've been here a long time. Those currently above are no longer tyrants.
I see. A peace has been made.
One of many. That's kind of what we do. We go around making peace one way or the other.
Well, may we live then in happier times. I'm glad you've come. May I serve you, Your Majesty?
Well, hold the celebration for the moment. Still don't know enough about you to consider you a worthy subject. I only know that you've allowed yourself to be trapped here for an unspeakable period of time.
It is a great lament of mine.
Were you not trapped here, what would you endeavor to do?
No. Within the world and all that's changed since I've been here. Help all who I can.
In what ways are you helping folk? You've spoken in high praise of yourself, but also in generalities. I feel like you're talking us in circles. And you know, what is your aim here? I suppose, why are you holding court with us? Why are you deigning to speak to us if you're not going to give us any information?
You're asking what I can do for you. I can tend to those who are sick and the wounded.
All right, we've got a physiker for that. Plenty of folk can do healing.
Can they?
In the, we can still talk in the psychic link, right?
Yeah.
In the psychic link, you hear Beth say, maybe you should mention we've known kind like him before, and they didn't heal anyone we knew. They only absorbed them and killed them.
Peach would take that note and express it to the white pudding
What
and
do
say,
you say?
Peach would say, look, we've, not that we've ever spoken with you particularly, but you talk of folks of your kind and things, and we've had experience with puddings before. Again, not that every pudding or person is the same as anyone else. I'm not trying to make any kind of broad strokes of judgment here, but we've not seen them to be particularly healing. Last time we encountered any kind of puddings, they honestly tried to roll through our town and killed a lot of people. And it was very distressing for the entire community. So, I suppose, if all you've got to tell us is you are a pudding, then why are we going to do anything to help you?
Cants his head to the side. Says, have you kept secrets from your king? You told me you had not seen my kind before.
I hadn't seen a white pudding. Everything sounds terrible in Peach's accent.
It does.
Honestly, like I was
I'm trying
cracking
so
up for earlier.
hard
It's
not to sound racist, where she's being like, not that all puddings are the same, but we encounter black puddings and white puddings. It's like Peach.
I was so expecting you to be like, not all puddings are the same. You're not kobolds after all.
Peach
On
never
the
said anything
other
about
hand,
kobolds.
every time you talk about puddings, it sounds like an endearment, so.
All sounds terrible in
Puddin'.
Peach's voice.
Yeah, well, the creature seems almost to lean forward a bit. It says, you have seen my kind before then. They visited you with misfortune. When? Where?
Peach would kind of, she'd can eyes at Casey, and in the mind link, Casey would hear, how much detail should we give him? Or them?
Maybe we should stop talking to him.
It was some time ago. And like we said, they weren't like you. Did not speak.
Right, that's a very good point, as my liege, the King of Up, has expressed. The other puddings we encountered did not seem to have a thinking, feeling, speaking kind of intelligence.
And his body kind of shifts and turns backwards, so his face is on the opposite side now. His back's to you. He's looking at Araya. And then he's facing back towards you again. Araya, by now you've certainly reached that side of the room. And on a plaque above the door in common.
oh, thank God, common. She'll read it out loud, right?
Okay. Read it out loud.
Wings? Oh, there's more on this side that's not in Dwarven. Wings endured the loss of flight, an intractable persistence of sorrow. He suffered countless ills. Indeed, such ills were his bear's companions. Bears companions. In that lost place, where no eyes shone fondly, nor that which gleamed so sweet, the clock was always right, and if wings pass, this also may. This is about you. It has clock in it. And wings. All... Can Zephyrus come over here?
Zephyrus is not here. Esmond has not turned around. He's looking straight back at the staircase that we originally descended from.
If she doesn't hear from him, she sort of turns around and looks.
Oh, okay, I'll just write it down then. And she starts writing it down.
The creature ripples a little bit in the face. Well, I guess no one in that. But, Araya, this voice is cast in your direction. It says,
No.
Is there peace, then, between your kind and theirs?
Oh, are you asking me? Or,
My liege.
Yes, you.
It's not that there's peace. Except that there's no conflict. A place without conflict is not necessarily in peace. It just means that we have larger matters to turn to, honestly.
So much has changed. And then the face vanishes from that side.
She sends like a panicked look back to her friends who are supposed to be speaking to the thing.
He just gives a thumbs up.
I don't know why I hit my mic for that, but yeah.
All my companions travel with me as proven equals. Just to be clear.
What must I do to gain your favor, King?
Well, what do you know of this place in which you are imprisoned?
It was made by those who were cast out, the lowly and the weak, the sick.
And what does it contain?
Just what you see.
There are many unopened doors. I cannot currently see through them. Do you know what's in the innermost chambers?
No.
And why were you imprisoned here? Why here, specifically?
No. I like to come here to study the knowledge of those who had come before. They kept their wisdom here, that someday it would be spread.
And why imprison you? Why not simply kill you?
Perhaps a kindness, perhaps a fear. Perhaps they lacked.
Growing up, there were always those stories that when they couldn't kill stuff, they would just trap it somewhere.
Sounds like dwarves. But in the mine lake, he says to all of everyone in the mine lake, as Doc, Kapath, and Peach, oh, he seems all right.
I don't second that opinion.
Maybe the dwarves will know something about this, like they have some hint of this in their history somewhere, like the mayor or some other people.
In the mind link, Peach would say, well, no, the mayor and all were super surprised this even opened up. They didn't know any of this all was here.
They might have lore though, you know?
Oh, Beak's companions.
Raised on the mind link.
Not on the mind link. She doesn't hear any of this. She's still like tracing the carving. Oh, that makes more sense because it's a bird.
Beautiful. Casey looks at Doc. His Beak's companion.
You guys hear in the mind link. I mean, this thing has been trapped here for a long time. It'll say anything to try to manipulate us to letting it free. I think we should leave it be now and try to get around it.
I think I know when I'm being manipulated.
Oh, Casey, no. Casey, this is consensus, so don't do anything rash, fiery, you know.
When have I ever done anything rash?
All the time.
I
will restrain you.
The creature speaks again. I must ask again. You said you had seen to my kind, and they brought misfortune upon you. I want to know more.
All right, well, quid pro quo then. You tell us a little bit more about why you ended up here, and we'll tell you a little bit more about our experience with, as you call them, your kind.
I told you all that you have asked.
Yeah. Well, we just do have to figure out if this is part of the puzzle or if he just happens to be here.
I have something. She thinks, she says aloud, and then realizes if people look at her, she probably doesn't want to talk aloud at all, and then thinks towards Casey. Ask him to read what Araya saw in common, and then ask him to read what the dwarven tablets say. He doesn't know that we can't read him, so the first one will let us know if he can read, and the second one might translate it for us.
Have you read the inscriptions in this room here, your prison? The one on the door? Do you know what it means?
Are you gesturing at the one in the north or south?
The one that Araya's at, yeah.
Beautiful words. It's a loss in flight. I too understand what it is to lose one's wings, as it were.
What about to the south? What do this say?
You can't read them, can you?
I myself have not learned Dwarven, no. Nor that I wish to.
Something you can help us with, though. I mean, you studied here for so long. You're truly an expert in this. Show us this knowledge you've gained.
But
perhaps we can help each other.
In the mind link, you hear, but don't promise him anything. We're not gonna let him go if he does something for us, right? That would be a really bad idea.
Casey says aloud, don't make the mistake of thinking I need your help with anything. We're simply speaking of kindnesses.
Building a relationship, that sort of trust. Show us we can trust you to give us information that is true.
Or did you not learn the tongue of your enemy? Those that trapped you here, the dwarves. It seems a miscalculation in strategy not to know the tongue of those who seek to imprison you.
That's right, Your Majesty. It would be a terrible miscalculation on my part to be unable to read such words.
So you can. That is convenient.
I don't sense that you trust me, and I can only suspect it is based upon what you've only hinted that you have seen my kind before, and that experience for you was unpleasant, and so I'll share with you this. Long ago, I set out to destroy that which within myself was most terrible. But it could not be destroyed. It was only set apart from me.
Oh.
That's a noble endeavor. One that I think we all aspire to.
In the mind link, Peach would say to Casey and the others who can hear, should we, I don't know, reward them with some kind of additional pudding information? I can share a little bit about Sheps. Might establish a good rapport that we'll share info back.
Yeah, but it wants to be let go. At some point, it'll figure out that we're not going to do that.
So far, all it's asked is for us to tell more about the other puddings we've encountered. Then out loud, Peach would say without waiting for a response from the... Yeah, Peach would just say out loud, all right, so you shared some information with us. In my own personal experience, when one of the puddings came to our town, it ended up absorbing some electrics of some kind and ended up killing my mother. So I have a personal negative experience there. But I'm not one to judge other folk based on the actions of individuals. So...
Oh, go ahead. It would respond.
Stand your fear. All I can offer is my sadness for what has happened.
Do not mistake reticence for fear.
Caution.
It seems to smile.
It did tell us, by the way, that it wants to be let out. It said to us, doesn't everything want to be free? That implies it wants to be free.
In the mind link, yeah. Casey's like, yeah, of course, but I'm the one that brought up freeing it.
In the mind link, without turning away from the stairs, as he's still waiting for someone to come down, Esmond to O will say, it said it set itself apart. Is it? It's not related to the black pudding, is it?
You said... Did you say you set aside a part of yourself?
Not with intention.
Do you mean it in an emotional way or a physical way?
I sought through magic to destroy that which within myself was most foul, but it created something, its deeds more horrible than my own.
Is that why you've been put here? Or did you put yourself here? No, is that why you're here?
I was trapped here by those who feared me most. Also, at this point, Fane kind of comes on the stairs.
As he comes down, I'm putting a finger to my mouth, indicating to him to shut the fuck up, and I'm going to gesture for him to come over and read the dwarven tablets and try to keep his attention off the white pudding.
I certainly go immediately to the glowing thing at the beginning of the room, but you do gesture to him, and he pauses and comes over to you. Hey, what's going on?
I need you to read these tablets right now.
Okay. Dwarven, like the ones above. I've not seen these before. I've been down here before. These, so these speak again of taking knowledge of the old ways and sharing them, teaching. He looks around. I see.
That's it? It just speaks of sharing knowledge?
Yes, yeah. Take forth to your kin what you have learned. This is speaks of I think this is building of a kingdom.
And the other plaque to the side?
No, between the two. That's what they say. What is that? That. What's the white pudding?
Not your concern. Turn around and leave. Thank you.
What? Oh.
It's white pudding, Casey says over his shoulder.
A pudding?
No, but nothing to worry about or anything.
No, you must destroy it.
We're not aiming to destroy it. We're not aiming to set it free. We're going to leave it where it is, as that's how it's been for however long now. So, go back to the mayor, report, leave. We will proceed from here. Thank you.
I will not. I need my help. What if you got to read more plaques?
This is your decision. If you die, that's on you.
Creeps closer.
Great. Congratulations. Esmond will scoop Zephyrus and go to the north end of the chasm and meet Araya by the door.
Yeah, while we were sort of talking, I was going to try to have Doc explore the area around where we're at. Is there anything?
Yeah, just go and kind of place you guys are moving around while you're talking and stuff. Just go and place yourselves where you want to be.
And I still have Detect Magic up, so if there are like any bips on my radar as I'm walking, just let me know.
Mm-hmm. So my initial thoughts are that Zephyrus needs to lick the eyeball of the guy in the middle.
The white pudding that has no eyes?
I know, it's a conundrum. No, but look, it says his beak. Well, Zeph doesn't really have a beak, and it's the tongue, and then where eyes shone fondly. Well, what's shining in the room, and then, or possibly there's something. Maybe there's something that we're missing in the room. I'm gonna cast light and investigate around the ceiling again, since that worked really well last time.
I'll come back to that.
It's meant for you. Only you will make sense of it, really. I'm just trying my best.
I'll come back to that in just one moment as you begin to cast your light spell. Ishtalan, have you been going deeper or heading back to your friends?
Going deeper. She's trying to find the source of the drums, and her intent so far is to go until she sees some signs of obviously mustering forces and get an assess them.
Alright. Roll me a perception check and a stealth check.
Does this place count as wilderness or urban?
Wilderness.
I cannot remember which specific things. I don't think stealth is advantage, but is it wilderness? Okay, so it's perception. So perception and stealth, you said?
Yes.
Do I get advantage for being invisible on the stealth?
Yes. Wait, no, you don't. Sorry.
Okay, well then it would be the first one. Oh, that's a really terrible roll. 30 on the perception and 18 on the stealth.
All right. You find yourself maneuvering through tunnels, and then you come to a place where there's a break in a wall, and it seems to be a high point overlooking what seems to be a much larger cavern. You do not see light, but you see, I should say, no, you do see light of what seems to be a variety of maybe campfires, and you hear the drums even louder now, reverberating off of the walls. You see dozens of the ravenous exile, the pale dwarves that you'd seen before, but you also see something more. You see some slightly, larger dwarves in that they're not taller, but they're much healthier. And they are wearing full plate armor and have weapons and seem to have dwarven craft. They have dark gray, ashen skin, almost with a purplish hue. There are much fewer of them than there are of the ravenous exiles. And it looks as though here and there in places, some of those gray-skinned dwarves are corralling or ordering. It's kind of hard to tell the activities of the paler dwarves. You do see what seems to be maybe a party of 12 or so that are making their way up a ramp of stone, a natural ramp of stone, and heading toward the temple, at least in the direction of the temple.
Is it a bunch of the little ones? Is it some of the big ones?
Mostly.
What does the makeup of this?
Yeah, it's 8 of the pale ones, and then but 4 of the armored gray-skinned dwarves.
And the armored gray-skinned ones are not like the big ones that she had seen before, right?
No, you do see
different.
You do see some of them throughout the room, but there's none in this party that's moving. But all in all, you might estimate at a quick glance between 60 and 100.
Just in this particular big room.
Yeah.
Does it look like a settlement or just a mustering room?
It looks like a settlement, but roll investigation. Yeah, it's hard to tell. Certainly some elements of a settlement, but beyond that, it's hard to get any more information.
Okay. I think then she is going to, seeing that group that's heading back up toward the temple, she, between her teeth, and then is going to start racing back toward the temple, trying to retrace her steps and get ahead of them to one of the others.
All right. Araya and Esmond.
I'm doing an investigation on the door, looking for any on and around the door, looking for any means of opening it or accessing it, or like some kind of like divot that would allow for it to open.
Okay. Roll perception and investigation, and then Araya, what were you saying?
Oh, it's just I think it's Zeph. Who else has wings? Wait. Do you know how to fly? Maybe it's something that you need to fly up to.
And Araya, you've cast your light spell, right?
Yes. I'm like looking at the ceiling and...
That is 31 perception, 35 investigation.
Yeah, so as Araya cast her light spell, it reveals what seems to be a small hole in the ceiling right above the plaque.
Oh, so the eye is inside the hole.
Can I manipulate my light after it's cast to follow Zeph?
I think light you cast on an object, right?
Oh. Well, okay. I would have cast it on my hand or on my staff.
That's fine, yeah. So it's on the point of your staff.
Excellent.
I am going to turn to Zephyrus and just psychically communicate. Are you okay with doing this, buddy? I don't want to send you through if you can't.
Kind of flutters around back and forth a bit and looks at your belt pouch.
I mean, obviously, yeah. And I'm not going to send you through alone either. I'm coming with you. Okay?
Seems excited.
I'm going to do two things. I'm going to take out a small bolt from my pouch, just a loose bolt, and I'm going to use my magical tinkering feature to basically turn the bolt into a small source of light and tie that around Zephyrus's neck. Let me... There it is.
I'm trying to decipher if the Zephyrus will need light or not need light. Because it could be that this is the little hole is a place that no eyes go, of course, or that it is a hole where where light should not go, and just him. No,
I'm gonna need the light because I'm going to go through his vision. So, Esmond's going to place a hand on your shoulder.
Oh.
Going to grant or pull out a small bottle and let Zephyrus get as much sugar water as he wants. Then I'm going to go into his vision, and we're going to go into the hole.
Vision spreads out into just a sphere as you go into the vision of Zephyrus. Go flying up into the hole. The others, we have everyone who's not Araya and Esmond or Shalon roll. Roll perception check.
I've got your body, Ez. I'll take care of you.
She calls after Zeph, not knowing that Ez can actually just hear her right next to her. She's like, "Oh, I guess he's inside the bird now."
No, Esmond is blind and deaf when he does this.
Oh, then I appropriate call up.
Peach.
I'm perceptive.
Actually, just
Ooh.
Peach, you notice that the pillars in this room are crumbling. Very clearly, there's been damage from the earth shakes. You see that there are two deep cracks in the floor that, not currently, but ultimately, are spreading toward the magic circle.
Peach would, in the mind link, express that to everybody in the mind link. So, hey, Casey, Kibeth, Ava, I forget who else is in there. There's some cracks in the floor there, and it looks like they might disrupt whatever that magical circle thing is. Maybe we should take a closer look, make sure everything is secure and all, but secret like. We don't necessarily want our new friend noticing what we're doing.
Yeah, so roll, anyone who's noticed that or has been informed of that, you can roll nature or investigation or stoneworking tools. Mason's tools.
general nature, because Casey's a natural.
I'm gonna give that to Ava more than likely. Ava, you had seen this back in Shepherd's End. One of the bad earth shakes had cracked the stone foundation of one of the buildings, and a log had come down on old Mapleton's leg. One more good earth shake. I mean, that could be days, that could be weeks, that could be months. It's gonna break that magic circle.
Guys, I'm basically one more real good shake, and that ground's gonna crack, and that circle is probably gonna fall.
All the more reason for us to be the one to let him out.
I don't know that that's this is in the mind link. I don't know that we should release him apropos of nothing. He giving us nothing to. Oh gosh.
Spoken to him.
Spoken to him, but all we do have is his word. We gotta have some kind of validation of it? Because anybody could say I am a good guy and I was put in prison through no fault of my own and everyone is against me. That's an easy thing to say.
Yeah.
I am Kabeth, slayer of thousands. I have destroyed entire armies. How would you know that I didn't?
I mean, my point is that if we let him out and he gets out of hand, then we deal with it.
Oh, can we see what Araya and Esmond are doing at the other end?
Ez has his hand on my shoulder and his head down, seeming in thought. And Araya has a light and she's staring up at a little hole in the wall.
Yeah, did we see the bird go
Probably not. Probably not.
Damn.
I mean, your perception is so high.
Not from where you are, Ava, because your line of sight of them is blocked.
Oh, that's true. I move around.
Continuing our conversation in the mind link. Well, I mean, yeah, we dealt with it before, but that wasn't easy, and so many people died. We can't risk that again. We don't know what this one can do.
Exactly. I'm with Kabeth. I don't think we should release this thing just based on its word.
I think what Casey's saying is probably true. At some point, and we have no idea of knowing when, that circle's gonna fall, and it's gonna be released on its own. But maybe if we are the ones that do it, we can have the negotiation, and if it'll keep its word, maybe that'll be safer than it just being trapped for however long, and finally freed to do whatever terrible things it might have been thinking of doing.
I don't feel this way on a whim. I've spoken to it. I feel like we have a rapport and a pretty good judge of character.
Casey, I spoke to it too. And I can tell you that I don't know, I did not get a good read off of the thing.
We've all been here. We've heard the entire conversation. You're not having a private conversation with it.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we either leave it and it's gonna get free, or we free it. Both of them are just a risk. One
Still
of
in
them
the...
will... Yeah.
Wait,
yeah,
why is there not a third option where
What's
we
that?
can do something else to keep it contained? I don't know what, but I mean, we're smart.
Yeah, still in the mind link, Peach would add to that. Yeah, and there's not an earthshake happening imminently. Yes, it could happen, tomorrow or the next day, but we have a minute. We don't need to release this creature right this second.
We don't know when the next earthquake is going to happen. So hopefully we have a lot of time, but we never know.
What I'm trying to say is we don't need to release it right this second either. Like, yeah, we don't know when the next earthshake's going to happen, but also, we don't need to be opening a gate before it's blown open by the wind. Like, we don't need to be unlocking doors.
Okay, so how about the deal we make with it, Casey, is that it helps us open the next door or something, and then we let it go?
I mean, it can make its own choices, but for those of you with hesitations, just look at Pretty Egg Girl.
We raised Pretty Egg Girl. We didn't raise this pudding.
Yeah,
Also, some of us all have a different memory of Pretty Egg Girl in that whole group. So.
No, she was great.
Wait, remind me out of character what bad thing the Pretty Egg Girl did.
Oh, Peach just remembers a different person being in charge of that group, and that person fighting to the death with Salander.
And that
Yeah, that whole thing.
Yeah.
That only I remember.
I mean, maybe just trust me.
Never.
Meanwhile, Zephyrus and Esmond.
Is Ez back? He is AFK-ish.
Oh, was he?
He said he was AFK. I think he's still.
Meanwhile,
Araya is standing around, getting more and more awkward the longer the silence goes on.
Ishtal, you... where are you... Just to make sure I understand, where are you headed right now?
The temple.
Same way you came?
She's trying to get back to her friends. Probably, since that's that seems like the quickest way back. Unless something seems obviously faster, but I don't think she knows this area well enough to trust that.
Sounds good. Yeah, you roll stealth if you would. Yeah. As you creep through the tunnels up ahead, you see two, what seems to be dwarven guards from Elingase Pass, keeping watch over like a barricade that's been constructed at the crack in the wall. You can see a little bit more movement behind them, but you see them before they see you.
Oh. She slows for a minute and then thinks about it, and then is going to deliberately step into the light with her hands up and says, "Hey, it's me."
They lift their hatchets and pause. Hey, we were expecting you. Come on.
She wastes no time coming in behind the barricade and says, "I certainly hope that you have things pretty well locked down, because there is at least one party of more dwarves, of these skinny ones. Well, 8 skinny ones, 4 really buff ones coming this way. And there's about 60 or 100 maybe of them beyond that."
What? 100 of them?
At worst, and probably better to, worst case scenario. How many people do you have in your militia? She looks around to see how many people are in this route now.
There's 24 of us.
Okay. Where did everyone else go? My friends.
They've gone down the stairs. We'll see to the barricade. Go and warn them.
Okay. I would maybe advise that you get everyone who can hold the weapon from your town down here, and I will go and tell them as well. And then she takes off at a run toward the temple.
And you hear them shouting to secure the barricades. Alright. Esmond.
I'm here.
Zephyrus goes up through the hole. It's winding pathway within the stone, really only large enough for See, like a small creature, like a squirrel or Zephyrus, to fit through. The passageway winds back and forth and spirals upward. Before too long, you see it levels out into essentially what to Zephyrus is a hallway. Down at the far end, there seems to be, as you move closer, looking through his eyes, it seems to be a set of tiles that are set into, we'll say, the far wall. And the tiles have different, first you just inscriptions, and then you realize that they are in common, but not just common. They are in, it seems to be essentially like arcane language, like arcane formula.
Araya, Esmond takes his hand off your shoulder, and you see him squat down, getting on his hands and knees as he starts randomly like drawing out formula and glyphs and symbols that you don't immediately recognize as through Zephyrus's eyes, I'm going to begin to investigate to make try and make sense of these tiles.
Okay. She has a book and paper, and as you're drawing in the ground, she'll write it down, but then she'll turn the page and kind of like stick the pen in your hand and set your other hand on the book so that you could possibly write with a pen, which might be easier than dust.
I mean, yeah, his body accepts it. Not that it matters, but he's doing this for the sake of like trying to make sense of what he's looking at. But yeah, he will accept the pen and the book graciously.
All right.
While they're doing that, can Ava grab the dwarf that's standing back there, sort of on the shoulder, and pull him a little bit towards the center, and have him translate the circle, like the runes on the circle?
What do you need?
What is that? What do those things say? Tell me what that is. That says.
You have to go closer to see it.
She looks at the others and sort of says, I guess, be careful, don't get too close.
Is it dangerous?
Let's assume yes.
It slowly creeps forward. And it kind of moves up behind Peach. I need to get by you.
Oh, sure. Peach, decide.
Moves by.
Don't touch it. Like, stand back from it.
He creeps forward a little bit. You see that the white pudding seems to be following him with his attention as he approaches. Kind of calls back. This, it's like Dwarvish, but strange dialect. I don't understand all the words.
Okay. Well, just read some of them and then come back and just tell me what you see. Don't hover about there. He looks a little too excited that you're close.
Oh, wow. Okay. Sure. Kind of. He backs up and he almost bumps into you, Casey. So, excuse me. I need to get by you.
In the mind link, Casey says, I mean to let this guy out, but there's going to be terms, which I'll solidify with him beforehand.
I think that's the best, but I don't know. Peach and Kibeth, sorry. Peach and Kibeth both I don't think they agree.
I think we should confer with the whole group before making that kind of decision.
I agree. And that includes Echelon. Where even is she?
We can
Can I?
we can leave the room.
Yeah, that's perfect timing. Yeah, Ishlan, you come down the stairs.
She flies down the stairs, taking them 2 or 3 steps at a time, and skids to a halt on seeing this glowing diagram in the middle of the room. Says, "Oi," and then continues running up to the others, sort of side-eyeing everyone, or all the thing in the middle, before she leans over, probably to Ava, since she's closest, and whispers in the ear, "There's a party of about 12 of them coming toward the temple right now. 8 of the little white ones, and then 4 of these much bigger, gray-skinned, healthy-looking ones. And there's maybe 60 or 100 of them still marshalling around deep below the temple. I think whatever we do, we need to do it quickly, or go back and help them first before doing the rest of this."
Mentally, very quickly, Ava sort of relays this in the link to Casey and Peach and Kabeth, so that they know the same information. And then at the very end says, what if, enemy of mine, what if we tell him to defend this area for us? That's the deal. We free him, but he helps to defend us and the people that live here.
What motivation would keep him here?
Yeah, Ava, what if the reason why they're all messed up and cannibalistic is because they're exposed to this thing? We have no idea what this is.
You guys gotta trust me. Kabeth, if you didn't trust me, you'd still be standing at the other end of that fire pit.
That didn't work out for me.
Look at you. You're freaking awesome. Look what you've done.
It has nothing.
It's just like looking around as everyone as.
Yeah, Casey gestures silently at Kabeth.
She's almost looking around, like nobody is saying anything. She like, and then she like puts a hand on Ava and on Kabeth, and is like shaking them. It's like,
yes, she goes, oh, right. Sorry, we're talking. We're trying to figure out what to do with. And she looks over her shoulder.
Let's leave the room so it doesn't hear us.
Casey, seeing Ishtalan, kind of straightens up a little bit, takes a deep breath, and is like, I'm gonna let it out with conditions.
Oh,
not in.
Asmund, roll.
What the fuck is this?
Roll a DC 30 Arcana. You have advantage if you're proficient in investigation.
Okay, quick note as all that was happening. In between taking notes, Esmond would, in the mind link, say to O, do not let this thing out until you confirm its relationship to the Black Pudding and whether or not it would side with the dwarves on land or underground. And I'll go ahead.
Actually, I'm gonna change that. Roll an investigation check. You have advantage if you are proficient in Arcana. No, investigation check. You can make it if you are proficient in Arcana.
I am proficient in Arcana, so that would be investigation with advantage.
Okay. Yes. Or no, regular without advantage. Sorry, Arcana is a prerequisite to be able to even attempt the roll, and you roll investigation.
Okay, so just a straight roll investigation.
Oh,
35.
Okay.
Good God!
Well, that was faster than I thought that would be.
God damn.
Yes.
You need to do something with a bonus someday so you can get over 40.
Give me a little time.
All right. Well, that was way faster than I thought. Okay. Yeah. So you.
Okay, I can roll again, Chris. It's fine.
I know you're good. Yeah. No, you just jot it down. You figure out about halfway through jotting it down. It is the one. The pieces, the tiles, can be moved to make the arcane formula for Shocking Grasp.
Can the tiles be moved by Zephyrus?
Yes.
Yeah, I'll have Zephyrus move the tiles, and then once the... Well, I'll wait to see if anything happens after the formula is complete.
Okay. Yeah, so he's like, starts moving the little tiles with this little beak. And then as soon as he finishes it, the tiles like and revealing a small golden orb that's fixed into the wall.
Araya, you see Esmond's... you see him suddenly stop jotting down notes as he lifts his left hand into the air in front of him, and electricity, as it usually does when he casts Striking Grasp, begins to travel from his shoulder into the palm of his hand, into his fingertips before they just vanish. And on the other side of the door, Zephyrus casts Shocking Grasp by licking the orb.
Yes! That's all I wanted!
There's a flash of lightning, a grinding of stone, the door starts to open. And everyone hears this going back to Ishtalan and the other group as they're talking.
Ez is on board.
Casey, I'm in this mind link too. We all heard us, right?
Oh, no, only Casey
Oh,
here.
only Casey does.
I relay
Damn,
everything, but we kind of skipped that part.
Okay, well,
That's
not how this works. We are all a group, and we need to leave this room so that we don't discuss this in front of this creature and make it mad if we decide not to release it.
And as you guys are talking, you were all interrupted by the sound of the door opening.
Oh, good job, Ez!
I bet if...
Does
Gosh,
the
urge to ask Zephyrus if
It
it tastes like a 9-volt battery, like, huh?
Yeah, Esmond stands up, opening his eyes, Zephyrus returning to him, kind of fluttering around. He dusts himself off. Okay, are we ready to go?
And you see the white pudding kind of turns inside out again, and he's looking towards the open door now. It says, "Oh, interesting."
Like I said, we have business here. In the Mind League, Casey says to Esmond, but we have company, and gestures towards the Ishtalan's return. Should be here soon. I'm going to let this guy out to help us with what's coming.
In response, through the Mind Link, did you confirm this thing's alliance?
I'm about to. Others are kind of pushing back, but don't worry about it. I take care of it.
There's numerous things to worry about right now.
We got this. Yeah, and he turns back to the other. I mean, I'm going to confirm some things. Just a moment.
If this goes badly, I will personally kill you. Just so you know, I will squish you like a little bug.
Casey, if this thing is anything like its fellow who hit Shepard's aunt, it killed dozens of people. Letting it go is a terrible idea. We should just continue on and regroup in the next room. Why are we doing anything?
Casey winks at Kabeth in response and turns to Peach and says, in the Mind Link, Peach, it's going to be okay.
Doing?
White pudding.
It turns inside out. It's facing
Now,
towards
Peach
you.
takes a few steps back. She moves back along with where Ishtalan is. She's moving away from Casey.
I'm gonna cast Bless.
Bane squirms through after Peach moves because Casey went moved. He gets to Ava. He says, "Hey, I read the runes. Yeah, they talk about protection and like a wall. I don't know much about magic."
Did they say anything about what was inside it? What it was protecting from?
Oh, I would need more time. I don't know.
Shalon's got her bow and an arrow strung on the string, and it's like, what is happening? We're going to have some visitors soon.
Yeah. Ava doesn't know what's happening, so she's just gonna cast guidance on Casey. She's gonna give him a little bit of guidance. Doesn't know what he's doing, but she's gonna give him guidance for it. There you go, buddy. She's like, all right, Casey.
Now that I see things casting. Oh, what?
White Pudding, I mean to let you out of your prison. There's a few stipulations. Things have changed since you've been in here. Not all dwarves are bad, or there has been peace brokered between many different groups by myself and others. So if I let you out, will you swear allegiance to me? Take my enemies as your own? And not betray me like those that have betrayed and imprisoned you here? I mean to give you freedom.
One cannot swear allegiance to one whose nature they do not know. I know not if you are kind or if you are foul. How could I promise to obey?
I'm not asking for you to obey. You can make your own decisions. I'm asking for your word. I will not cross you. You do not cross me or any of my friends.
This I can promise. So long as you do not seek to harm me, I will not seek to harm you.
One last order of business before we may have company to put our newfound agreement to the test. We've encountered another pudding like yourself, but opposite. Its color was black as coal. Do you know this pudding?
I do.
What is your relation to it?
It is my enemy.
Then I think we have an accord. I'm going to release you from your prison. Prepare yourself, because we will have company in case he moves forward to undo the magic circle. How I'm going to do that yet is yet to be determined. Give me a moment.
If it's anything like supernatural, you just kind of scuff it with your foot.
Salon mutters, did anyone ask it what its definition of friend is?
Yeah, it's just a big salt circle, right?
Yeah. It said that it had excised the worst parts of itself, and I have reason to believe that this that remains is well intended.
Roll Arcana.
Casey. Oh no, man, that's my best.
Can any of us watching this do that?
Yeah.
As Casey is moving to deconstruct the circle, Peach is kind of like hunkering down. Like she's not fighting against her friends, but she's taking cover.
I'm going to use a thread, I think, to reroll that.
Low roll.
Yeah, what the heck?
Oh, much better. What fudge?
Casey got a 25.
Jeez Louise.
How am I getting higher Arcanas and stealth?
Casey, yeah, just your instinct tells you that these magic stones are empowering the circle, and if you were to destroy one of them, or like change their orientation, like move one of them even enough, it would disrupt the circle or weaken it.
Yeah, Casey steps forward. The town above contains dwarves that are friends of mine. This temple below contains dwarves that are my enemy. Can you distinguish between the two?
Silence. And those well above. As I promised. Only those who seek to harm me shall be treated in kind.
Casey raises a hand and then makes a sweeping gesture past one of the rocks and casts mold earth to attempt to shift one of those rocks outside of the circle.
Yeah. That's how that works. Yeah, you light one of the things away and the others flicker, and the circle seems to weaken. You realize just moving them like this, you'll probably need to move them all.
Yeah, so he moves to the next one and continues the process.
And as you move, circling the ritual, the white pudding at each step ripples a bit. It doesn't move, but its body just changes to follow you as you do.
My eyes dart to Farron. Does he look like he's like, I'm gonna just attack straight away?
You see he's got his hatchet in his hand. His eyes are wide as he watches.
She just sort of like, if she could catch his eyes, she'll just be like, like a be at ease kind of hand sign language.
Stairs, you start to hear the sound of distant shouting. The dwarves.
Mom bounces on her toes. Like, at first, some of her attention was on the pudding, but now everything about her is oriented toward the stairs.
Okay, so you move to the second one, shift it. And the circle begins to weaken even more. There's 3 left. Bane steps forward. What? Are you daft? What are you doing?
No.
You can't free it. You can't free it. It'll destroy us all.
It won't. Not this one. Not this side. Give it a chance.
Okay, so you move to the third. Do you remove the stone?
Yeah. Yeah, he makes the motion. The stone shifts away.
At this point, the magic circle is flickering erratically. There's only 1 stone left. You hear the sound of fighting break out in the, at least the preliminary sounds of fighting breaking out in the chamber up above you. Hold up! You hear them shouting. Oh. Hold the barricades! They're coming!
I'm gonna head upstairs then. Okay. Theoretically.
So you're running across the room heading towards the southern stairs?
Yeah.
Alright. Okay, as Casey moves to the last stone, what's everyone doing?
I think seeing Aurea is moving, then Ishalon is also going to start moving as well. She's heading up the stairs.
We should.
Peach will move that way as well, in retreat style, going upstairs.
Okay, what's everyone else do?
Esmond is standing at the edge of the barrier with his mace in hand, just staring at the white pudding.
Ava, Kabeth?
I'm sorry, I was AFK, so I'm not really sure what's going on.
Casey is unleashing the pudding, and we hear the call of dwarven fighting upstairs.
Yes, Casey has one by one been removing magic stones from the circle. He is now on the last stone. You've heard fighting breaking out in the chamber above you, presumably between dwarves and the exiled dwarves.
I get large and I kind of stand my ground and turn so I can turn my head between both the door and the pudding.
Big bath.
I guess Ava's just trying to get a line of sight on all the people in this room and stay on this side. Is that possible?
Well, I'm close to. I mean, I can't promise you have everybody, but pretty close, pretty close.
Yeah, she watches as Casey is doing the last one. She casts the spell so that those people around her feel a little bit better. She sort of mimics the magic that she's seen Araya use several times in the past, but a spell that's sort of made her own. And she says, okay, last one. We gotta go, Casey.
Casey looks up at Doc and grins. And looks over at Ez and Araya and gives him a nod.
I'm holding an action.
And he makes a sweeping motion with his hand as the last stone shifts from the position and flies into the column, breaking into bits.
Alright, the magic circle flickers and fades to merely a dim glow of what it was, and you see the white pudding at the center seems almost to stretch as one that's been sitting in a chair for too long. It says, thank you.
Now's the time to test your word. And he gestures to the cacophony coming from above. Sounds of battle. Are you white pudding, creature of your word?
I'll aid you and your friends.
Let's get to it. Casey snaps a finger and a ball of fire appears in his hand. And he starts to move towards the entrance down there.
Alright. Everyone goes pouring down toward the southern doorway, and after a moment the white pudding loses its humanoid form and begins to gelatinously wiggle its way toward this. Alright, let's take, I'm gonna move us to the other map. Let's take like a 5-minute-ish break, and I'll set everything up.
Oh, I'm excited.
This is
Tentative
great.
ally with the. I'm so stoked.
Yeah!
Oh
is a bad
gosh,
idea.
I don't trust this pudding, you guys. But
Bad
I'm
idea.
Yeah,
tonight.
but it'll be
Hey.
interesting if it turns on us.
We trusted
Hey,
the
The
giant monster
story.
that ate memories.
I mean, if it does turn bad, though, then it's like every pudding is bad. But then I feel like if
You don't want to make a racist story, do you?
If I'm expecting the pudding to be good, am I holding it to a higher standard than I would hold a regular pudding?
There is
What?
always room for Jell-O in the party.
Oh my goodness. I am team
My-
pudding.
My wacky theory is that this pudding is also part of some of the time shenanigans going on, and it had absorbed and eaten the Angel of Doors, which then got excised from it. But it could not be killed.
All right, me
And is
being
now
like,
in the past and was imprisoned in the past.
So this is an angel pudding? Are you saying we've got an angel celestial pudding on our hands?
It's a
we've
theory.
got an angel food cake.
Do I sense? Oh my gosh, it's ambrosia pudding.
Casey has
This is
of
my
the
wild
mind.
mass guessing.
Pudding is a higher form of existence, so we all need to upgrade to pudding form, one way or the other.
Oh man, I was so close to that during the pandemic.
Yeah, if you guys are still like stuck to your physical human form,
I am so team pudding. You all, I'm very excited. It's my new favorite NPC potential villain.
Has it been
I am
more-
impressed.
has it been more than an hour since the last battle? Or less than?
We did have a period of time where we talked to people and sat and watched a movie.
It wasn't a movie. Is
It
that
wasn't
what the movie? Right?
It's not
It
a
was
movie,
like
dog.
a movie.
It was
It
less
was,
than
it was a
not-
shadow play
It was
documentary.
less than an hour. It was less than an hour because I had asked Chris if Peach could do a Song of Rest, and he said, "You won't have time. It won't do anything." So it means less than an hour.
I can't imagine it has been an hour. We'll say it's been half an hour.
Yeah.
Whatever you
30
can.
minutes.
My plants
watched
shouldn't
a
have died
movie.
yet.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Are your plants alive or not alive? Or
They would die. They would shrink back, I think, after an hour, I want to say.
Oh, then they're still alive.
I
If it's
guess
only
See
been
if
a
I
half
can
an hour.
control Z back enough. No, I can only control Z once. You have to
I
remake
can draw them
all.
again.
Okay.
I'll do that.
If this works out well, just know the entire theme of this season is just friendship, and we can solve everything by being nice.
I really thought you were going to say the entire theme is that Casey is right.
Oh god, no. Not yet. I can't say that.
I like it when Casey's shenanigans line up with my vibes.
Oh, maybe I'm wrong. I don't... Oh, see the time duration on it. I thought it was an hour. Hold on.
The ones in the south one had burned, right? So they're no longer there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
'Cause that's the path Shalati went, and we had left the other southerly one open as to like direct there.
Yeah. Before you continue drawing, double check your spell.
Yeah, I'm checking it, and Chris, we'll just have to like figure out what you want to do, because we used the spell obviously like in a way that we're not going to use it moving forward, and this just basically shows that it overgrows. I don't see anything about it changing back.
Oh, it's just permanent. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can keep the. Tell you what, we'll just make it easy. Keep the ones that are on the western side of the room. Like those will still be there, but the ones on the eastern side of the room, I'm gonna give you narrative.
Chris, do you remember what type of creature Zephyrus is?
He's a hummingbird.
Okay, I just can't. I couldn't help but notice that you have. I don't recall the last time you referred to Zephyrus as a hummingbird, so I just wasn't sure if you remembered.
Oh,
I thought he was that little tiny hummingbird songbird vibe.
Horned Sunjim hummingbird.
Yeah.
He's not a small zeppelin.
Do hummingbirds
In fact,
have
no.
beaks?
Yeah, they have beaks. They're
It's kind of like a.
yeah, they're imagine like an anteater snout, but it's like really small, very thin.
It's a snoot beak.
Yeah. I mean, hummingbirds are incredibly tiny, so just the smallest thing that you can imagine with the smallest, sharpest beak. Yeah.
I like to think that I helped.
I mean, yeah, light always helps. Yes. That doesn't mean that Esmond enjoyed the experience, but it does help.
What experience did Esmond not enjoy?
This whole event, everything about this town.
Chris.
It's been great so far.
Just because Ez is uncomfortable with things out of his control does not mean the things out of his control aren't super fucking cool.
Oh no, it's not that he doesn't dislike the things that happen out of his control. He accepts that. He's pissed. about the things that have happened. And
If
that
you
there was-
have prophecy, why can't you save my family is the base.
Yes, exactly. Which feels, given our circumstances, a reasonable assessment to make at this specific jurisdiction of our adventure.
We're in an alternate reality.
We're not.
We are. We
We're
went through
not.
a bubble. We went in a bubble.
We went into a bubble, but Esmond confirmed that it did not feel as though that we transitioned into a different dimension or reality. It was a bubble that had like a temporal essence to it, but it did not have the same essence of the portals or tears that we have walked through previously.
Yeah, we really got to figure out who made the temple and from what prophecy it was, because it encouraged isolationism, not trading with other towns, self-sufficiency, and winter crops.
Yeah, whoever did it's a real bitch.
I'm very excited to figure it out. I'm all in because it's prophecy and cool shit. I'm bad at puzzles, or Araya's bad at puzzles.
Chris, would I be able to get off a spell as we're running up the end of the staircase into the arena that you set up?
I'll give you guys that in a second.
Do we need to place ourselves at the north side or
Yeah, north side.
These guys I put to sleep last time should be like in prison somewhere.
They're still tied up. And they're tied up where you left them.
Oh, I thought they were like evacuated up by the townsfolk. Okay.
No, I think they're being guarded by the townsfolk.
No problem. I just misunderstood.
Should we initiative?
Yes.
Ooh. This is not one of the times where rolling good is like really advantageous.
It's always good to roll well on initiative.
I'm the sort of reactive, combative.
Yeah, I agree with you, Jess. I prefer to roll low initiative as I get a 25.
No, you get to go twice. Be prepared.
I don't know what I'm gonna do. I don't have any ideas.
See dwarf, zap dwarf.
Buff up. It's always a good first round.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't actually hear that. What? Buff? What?
Buff yourself if you have like a
Or
armor.
debuff, either way.
I put something in the chat and I was thinking one thing and I wrote another. Casey, Echelon, Doc, and Kibeth. Not Peach. You guys are blessed. You have a bless on you. Sorry, Peach. Sorry.
You unblessed me?
I
I'll remember
didn't-
that, Ava.
Sorry.
Unbless me. You know, bless your own heart.
This area.
Where is my token, Chris? I need to roll initiative, but I can't find Esmond.
You don't have to click your token anymore, but I don't know where you're at.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't have you on the map.
Esmond fell into another dimension.
Yeah, I'm not on there either. Unless
Let's
I'm
roll.
behind. Oh, there I am.
Oh.
Unless I'm behind Kabeth.
Oh no, Chris, you need to get rid of Typhon. I have not built a new Typhon unit since the last one was destroyed by the spider.
Oh, I'm in a potty. It's a good time.
Yeah, take a break. I just need to set up some combat stuff real quick.
I have 2 dogs.
And just chucks it across the battlefield, flies past Esmond's head, several of the dwarves, all the way down to a point. I'll kind of fine tune it here when I get my circle, but just in the back end of all these dwarves here, make a circle.
Chris, could you clarify the green ones are the exiled dwarves, correct?
No, the green ones are the dwarves from the surface.
Thank you.
There's that one dwarf that's facing south at the very, very bottom. Was that intentional or was it forgotten?
Oh, that's the mayor. He's not really there.
Oh.
He ran.
And the measuring tool should allow you to do like a circle now.
That's should be 20-foot radius circle here. I don't know if I can move it though. Hang on.
You should be able to if you zoom in on it. You gotta have the selection tool though, not the circle tool.
Yeah.
Are you able to move it?
Yeah, I am.
Okay. Alright.
If I put it like there to try and get those other two guys. Yeah, that's where I want to put it. Yeah, so this ball of fire comes streaking across the battlefield. Anyone that it passed can feel the heat of it because it's blazing hot, and when it strikes just in the back of the cave here, there's a loud as the flames spread out in this area, scorching everything in it. And it is a DC 15 dexterity saving throw.
Alright, going left, right. Oh, top, down, left, right. I'll do the LA, actually, the exiles first. Alright, so that's all 3 of them. And now the Durogar Dark Irons. Dang it, I didn't fill it.
That's some good damage on that fireball.
Yeah, as the ball erupts into flames, the light that it casts causes shadows from all of the dwarves on the battlefield to just streak across the cave. So there's these long shadows that get cast out very rapidly, and in several of the shadows you just see a grin on the floor, just ever so briefly if you're paying attention.
And then for the Duragar Darkfire, guys. Okay, so what was your DC?
15.
Alright, so for the exiles, it looks like we have success, failure, and a failure. And what's your base damage for this fireball?
So, base is 32.
So if they made it, that'll be 16.
I see one of them got a 20. I'm going to use a point to make him reroll that, I think.
Alright, that was one of the... That was the first of the dark.
Yeah, he should roll a 1 instead.
Let's see. Nope. Another natural.
No!
Well, at least you used it on that instead of something else, maybe?
Chris has so
This-
many up his sleeve.
This is the main character of that of this clan.
This one
Now
guy
you-
is
now
just
you guys
like
know how to go-
super
who to go
flip
after.
dwarf.
Fair enough, the gauntlet has been thrown. Yeah, so 32 base, 16 if they made it. And Casey slowly lowers to the ground there.
Okay.
And
So as,
then-
as the fire erupts out from the back of the room, two of the exiles, the pale ones, kind of flinch and they're immediately bloodied as fire scorches across them and they kind of raise their arms to cover themselves. The one in the northmost managed to kind of duck to the side, so he got burned, but not too badly. The four at the center, so the group farthest to the east, the more heavily armored ones, they're hit by the flames, but you learn as the flames lick over them, they don't seem as bothered by it. They are resistant to fire damage.
Right.
Oh, do you still have the thingy up where you're talking with folks?
I do, yeah. Yes, he'll say in the mind, like, fire didn't work as well. Let's try something else. Maybe some lightning S, and you hear him chuckle. And he will move, but that'll be my turn.
Alright, Peach Pine, you're up. Next player will be Dog.
Peach will just take a few steps back toward the white pudding, and as she's moving close to it, she will nod toward Casey as he is coming down, alighting back onto the ground, the four of him in a row with their identical fireballs, seeming to have taken damage, or caused damage. Peach will say to the white pudding, "All right, Lord Casey of Up says that we're friends now, so I'm gonna try and support that. So here you go. Good luck." And she'll grant the pudding a bardic inspiration. Then she will dart around this column and take cover and take aim.
Nicely done.
That'll be it for me.
Alright, Doc, next player will be Array.
Doc goes immediately seeing the battle. I guess people engaged in all the fighting. Sees the giant flame go over, and immediately begins sprinting towards the the hearts of the battle, or where the battle is. Should get to about here. And are there, of the dwarves that are fighting, the good guys, are they injured?
It looks as though you've come in right at the moment where the ones on the front line have been cut down and are dead, and the ones that are now the front line are defending, but they're not wounded yet.
Seeing this, she realizes she's too late to help those people who needed her, so she stands in the back. We'll go as an action. Yeah, I'm just gonna, she runs down there and I'm just gonna just hold her action, waiting for something.
Turn of the white pudding. It slithers forward through the battlefield. So 30 feet of movement to get there. And it kind of just flows past Kibeth and Fane and kind of reforms there just north of the campfire. You see there are ripples on its body, almost as though its tension is moving back and forth, and taking in what is going on. Yeah, you see it begins to warble as though it is casting a spell. I can't do it, it's detached. One second. How do I get it back onto Roll20? Maybe I just have to close it. One second.
No problem before. Ooh. So the furthest south was my first target. And then the second most southest is my second target.
Alright, well, it's a natural 20 on that first one. It looks like 27 damage?
Yes. Oh, but because of my radiant soul, it's a +5 to radiant damage.
Oh.
So 32.
Nice.
Yeah, it just blasts him and knocks him back against that dwarven statue. And that creature has been bloodied, and he is glowing now.
Excellent. And I'm hoping a 20 hits the other guy.
Sorry, the other guy that you were attacking, ping him again?
The furthest southmost. This one.
Okay. Yes, that will hit him for 17 radiant damage. +5.
Sorry, this man. He's this. I was like south and south, and I can see both these fellows. Yes.
Yes. Okay. So 17 +5 for radiant damage. Is that right?
22, 32, and 22. Ooh.
Yeah, blast hitting both of them. One of them bloodied. The other one is staggered a bit. You can tell he's quite tough. else on your turn?
The white pudding is with us. Please don't attack him. He'll help us if we offer no aggression. I'm assuming him. Please don't harm them.
Alright, yeah, you shut that out to the dwarves in the area. Okay. Is anything all done?
I talked, I moved, I cast.
Alright, so
I'm
next
good.
will be one of the Duragard Dark.
Ooh, actually, unless... Nope, never mind. Nope.
Yeah, so the northmost of those Duragar begins to, or the one that's robed, begins to cast a spell. I wish I should. Begins to weave a spell, and there is a mote of black fire that flies out from him, exploding next to the ballista. In terms of players, Ava, you will need to make a dexterity saving throw. DC's, I think it's 16. That's okay. Let's see if this reports correctly. I have a feeling. Yeah, DC is 0. I don't know why it does that.
Alright, I will try. I will use a constellation to reroll.
Sounds good. DC 17. Yeah, sorry.
Oh, good God. Good God.
Ooh, that damage.
That was a good damage roll.
It was.
Power couple with the dark iron one.
AC observes that fireball intently. That amount of damage.
All
right. Is that what is half of 36? That's a weird number to split in half, isn't it?
18, I believe.
18, yeah. Thanks.
Okay, you can see that 3 of the service dwarves are incinerated by the blast. 2 of them managed to get their shields up, but they're badly hurt.
Oh no.
Were you holding your action?
All right, and then you see the Duragar moving north along the wall. And then it's Fane's turn. You see him staring wide-eyed at the white pudding, and his hatchet's trembling in his hand. But as you call out, he pauses, and he starts moving. I'll help him. you see he runs over that direction, raising his shield. Ishtalan, you're up.
Okay. She has out her bow knocked on a string, and she's quickly scud sort of southwest, sorry. Basically sighting and waiting until she feels like she has a shot on one, who is this one right there. She still has been concentrating on Hunter's Mark this entire time. So now she is going to use her bonus action to shift it from wherever that dude is to this guy right here.
Right.
And then will draws and sights. And so she is acting before him, so she gets advantage on this, and with... I should actually probably share some of these at some point. Between that and that. Oh, she's sharpshooter. She's doing sharpshooter and entering strike. So that'll be a -5. And double advantage on this.
Ooh, alright. 26 is definitely going to hit.
Okay. So that will be 21 piercing plus bloody.
Tell me a story.
The first one snaps out, the hiss of the arrow slicing through Kibeth's shoulders, like actually going through the little curl of her horns, before it slits south into the that one skinny, starved albino dwarf. For her second one, she sights, draws, and how big is this pudding? Would it block her access to this one?
It is a large creature, but it's kind of warbling as it's casting its spell, so maybe there's a moment where it's like kind of curled in this weird way, and you can...
Okay. So then she takes in a breath, holds it for half a second until she sees the instant when there's a free path for her arrow, and is going to... this one does not have Hunter's Mark, but it will sharpshooter. And this one will get the extra damage from her ambush. So I think it should be... Oh, and the triple advantage on this guy, because it has guiding bolt. -1? Oh, I see. Okay. So that would be, 24.
That will hit.
And 17 damage plus bloody.
Tell me a story.
Quickest thought, both of these arrows slide through the air, almost seeming to wend their way around the targets they're not meant to hit, as though they have names etched onto each arrowhead. And this one strikes through this particular dwarf and pins him back against the statue.
Blood splatters onto the surface dwarf that was there, and his eyes go wide.
And then she will most heroically move back over to here.
She bravely ran away.
And a dice
And that's it for my turn.
That you get a -1 on a dice roll. Non-Euclidean dice.
Apparently it's the -5 from sharpshooter plus the 1d4 from bless. Added up like that.
Yeah, you see that this dark iron dwarf here comes running through the battlefield and curves up right next to Ava. He did have to dash to get there, so he can't make any attacks.
Knock the new tank.
So, this exile over here, some of you just see blood splatter across the ground as he kills the dwarf.
Wait, who? Wait, who killed what?
This guy over there on the other side of the rock from you. killed?
You can't see, so don't worry about it. Nothing to feel guilty for.
No, you do feel something. You don't know what.
I feel as though I've let someone down somehow.
You heard the sound of a puppy being kicked around the corner.
Another of these, the bloodied exiles move forward to engage the one that Ishlan had just protected. Ooh, a 10 is not going to hit him. Second time. Also doesn't hit, neither of them. Survives it.
Nice.
However, the dark iron, the Durga dark iron that's glowing from the guiding bolt crowds past him and takes a swing as he does. Yeah, actually, with their armor, 15 hits off the shield. It does not hit him. Esmond, you're up.
Was that 28 magical piercing?
Yes.
Plus 8 poison. That's a normal amount of damage. Yeah, you know what? Esmond, game recognizes game. Esmond's gonna run forward 10 feet. He's gonna pull out the Maelstrom Clockwork Rifle and aim it at the Durgar caster that was running up the way here. So action, I'm gonna fire. I'm using bonus action to cast Branding Smite.
Hmm.
$16 to hit.
And it's this guy on the west here, right? Or sorry, the east?
Correct, yes.
16 hits.
Okay, so that will be that'll be 19 piercing damage, and then branding. An additional 9 radiant damage, so 28 total damage.
Nice. Yeah, the bolt hits him, and it seems to make impact with a slightly greenish mage armor. I mean, he's smacked back against the wall. You've hurt him, but
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I did not use Branding Smite, actually. Branding Smite's concentration, and I already have Heroism up. So I'm not going to do that. I'm keeping Heroism up. Take away the 9 damage. Instead, so yeah, that 16 hits, bonus action reload,
but
action.
The 19 piercing is still there, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So action, cast gun, bonus action reload, extra attack, cast gun.
All right.
$24 to hit.
24 hits.
That will be 15 piercing damage. That will be 29. That'll be 34 total piercing damage.
All right. Yeah, again, hits the mage armor, smacks him back against the wall. They're strong.
And then Zephyrus will be instructed to hang out near the ceiling, and just observe the battlefield.
All right, sounds good. Down in the south, one of those dark fires begins to weave a spell, and a mote of black fire appears in his hand, goes streaking northward, and explodes right next to the white pudding. It's going to encompass Araya, Kibeth, the white pudding, Esmond, Zeph. No, ceiling's tall enough.
I do have Zephyrus like up near the ceiling.
Yeah, I was just. Wait, no, we said the roof ceiling was 12 feet, so it's going to reach the ceiling.
Is it 12 feet? Well, fuck me, shit ass. Can I? Goddamn.
Tell you what, I'm going to give you, just because you probably forgot that detail, go ahead and make an investigation check to know if you instinctually knew that would not be safe.
Which one's cast?
23.
Okay, yeah, so you can move him somewhere farther.
You're very kind.
Okay.
And let's see. Fane's actually not in that, but the dwarf is. So, yeah, you see the dwarf that's just to the right of the white pudding. It's scorched by flames.
Was that one of the sleeping ones from before?
No, but that guy is killed.
No. Oh, shoot.
But they were tied.
What's the save on that?
It probably says 0, doesn't it? It's 17.
What save are we attempting? Dex?
Dexterity save.
Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna get a 17.
Did
How
you
much
roll
is
the
it?
attack, Chris?
Yeah, I don't see the attack.
Oh, did it not report? Just sorry. Oh, terrible roll. That's only 18 fire damage base.
Oh, thank goodness sakes.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. I won't re-roll for that, but I do need to make a con save.
Oh.
I have advantage due to Warcaster.
Phew.
Heroism stays up.
I'm just imagining the fire clearing and everyone in there just like kind of doing little shoulder flicks.
Does my mage armor affect this, or is it more for a different kind of thing?
Yeah, it does not affect this.
Okay.
Um,
Sorry, I meant mirror image, but you knew what I meant. Okay.
Chris, what's the save threshold?
17.
17.
So, with a 17, I failed it or passed it? I'm so tired. Sorry.
17 passes. You see some of the flames get pulled inside of the white pudding.
Already paying dividends.
All right, and then you see the dark fire begins to circle more to the west. I'm vanishing behind one of those statues. Kibeth, it's your turn.
Okay, so I'm gonna ping. Is that one still alive?
Ping that one more time. That one is tied up and on the ground. Tied up in ropes.
So all of the enemies I can see are further down.
Mm-hmm. Looks that way.
You would have seen Esmond taking pot shots at an enemy to the east on the map.
Okay, I'm gonna move to here, and that's at the end of my range. There's an enemy right in front of me now, right?
Yes, right in front of you.
Okay. I can reach him, no problem, and I'm gonna attack him with the greatsword.
So that's good. Make your attack.
First one is a 26.
26 will definitely hit him.
I'm trying to decide if I want to re-roll the damage. He's not undead, I assume.
As far as you know.
I'll keep that damage for now, but I also get Divine Favor and Giant's Might damage as well. Why is my sheet so tiny right now? Ugh. I need to put my glasses on. I'm like, where's the... So that's an additional 3 on the first hit.
What's your total on that first hit? 14?
Yes.
Alright. Yeah, you smack him with the great sword, and you see their sparks go flying as you strike the greenish shield that's around him. You hurt him, but he's strong.
I take another swing.
24 will definitely hit.
This time I'm going to use my ability that lets me reroll the damage dice, so I'll reroll the 2d6. So that's 12 damage instead. Wow, I'm just rolling such good damage dice tonight. Exactly the same. So that's 15 damage.
Beth, as you bloody this Durgo Dark Iron, tell me a story.
Kibeth, that's the one that Ez took a shot at, right?
Yes.
Okay,
Correct.
yeah, Kibeth sees Esmond taking a shot, and she can't see the enemy at where she was, but she, assumes that he's shooting at something she'd also like to hit. So she dashes over there and sees this guy at the entrance to this tunnel, raises her greatsword, says, "Quit killing my friends!" And she takes a whack at it with the sword once, twice, does a little damage, and she's like,
Awesome.
that'll be my turn.
And cut through the shield, blood goes splatter against the wall. There's blood on these Durogar. And that's where we'll stop for tonight. Last turn of combat.
Excellent.
Great session, guys. I'm gonna go wind down for bed soon.
Good night. Great work. Good session.
Yeah, good job.
Let's see. Araya, were you hit by that fireball just now?
Yes.
Okay, make note, and I'll try and remember for next session as well. You get 4 temporary HP at the beginning of your next turn.
Oh, I keep getting 4?
Heroism is temp HP at the beginning of each of your turns.
It's a hot.
Region.
It's a heal over time. It's a hot. So Araya is hot right now. Because I just got hit by fire.
Don't brag about it, but yeah.
Hey, Chris, just because I don't think that there's anything that would interrupt this between now and next week, but just so I don't completely forget, can I just use the held action I've got to just heal a couple of those little green guys?
Yeah. If you had a held action, go ahead and do that now.
Yeah. All right, I'll do that.
What are you casting?
Just healing word, and then my other ability.
Okay.
I love how chaotic this battlefield looks right now.
Okay.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Ooh, okay, yeah. Now you completely heal them both.
Okay, cool.
This is why they offer blood sacrifices to you later.
I just wish they didn't explode and die so quickly. Like, I didn't even get a chance to heal most of them. I, like, walked up and they're just boom, and they're gone. And it's like, whoa, oh.
You're like, stop dying, you cowards.
You got two of them.
No, it's fine. The white jelly will bring them back, and it'll be fine.
Yeah, this is some conflicting vibes.
Yeah, I was actually gonna say, see, it's okay if they die. So it's just more fuel.
The immediate look on Isaac's face at that spell being dropped was worth the entire session, honestly.
Oh yeah, we were all just like, oh no. We thought this one was like I don't know, felt bad about being bad kind of a thing.
What? No, do not include me into that. I didn't feel bad about this thing at all. I still don't trust this fucker.
Oh no, sorry. I meant the I think only Isaac and myself were in team pudding. Right?
Yeah, I mean, Esmond basically instigated Casey into freeing this guy, so...
Who's to say the white pudding's doing anything wrong right now?
Yeah.
It's using the magic, creepy ass magic, to help us.
It's recycling. Waste not, want not.
Yeah, it came into a room full of bodies and was just like, oh, I'm gonna use these. These are building blocks to a little pudding guy.
Yeah, Casey has many thoughts regarding death and the permanence thereof, but that's neither here nor there.
I'm sure they would also be happy to know that they're still being of use to protect their friends after they're gone.
That is not actually too far off of what... I mean, like, if yeah. Gosh, this is a pickle.
Also, we can eat them, because if we run short of supplies, because they're still helping their friends.
Also,
Boy,
they're delicious.
y'all are really straddling that line of abiding by the law.
Wait, one of you, roll a d20. Anyone who wants to. Say who's doing
I
it.
want to.
Okay, right, roll a d20. 15. All right, that fireball burns the ropes off of the one that was tied down, rips out of it.
Oh, we both rolled basically the same. Like,
fuck me, the big one?
Yeah.
Did it roll for damage, or roll to save against it? Because I think it automatically fails.
It took full damage, yeah.
Okay.
But it was only like
bloody.
18.
It's bloody, right? I don't see a red mark on it, Chris. It must be bloody. You probably just forgot to mark it. Chris, please don't put me next to the giant. Please.
I didn't put you there.
Hey, Esmond.
It's the same size as the pudding, so maybe the pudding can eat it.
Yeah.
Also, the giant guy's kind of equidistance between you and Ava. Who's to say?
Yeah, who's most delicious?
I mean, not really. He's right next to Esmond.
Chris, could anyone remind me how many points, destiny points, you're supposed to spend to bonus action attuned to an item?
Oh, it's in the list. If you go to like the
3,
it's like 5.
There's a list. It's written down.
Bonus
Yeah, it's
action
the same
attuned?
distance.
It's
I'm
2.
like right next to it, and then you're like at least a couple squares away.
You're right.